A whirlwind of events tonight in the Coley McCraney Murder Trial. After a 2-hour delay, we started hearing from witnesses, and we've just learned one of the jurors has been arrested. Let's go to WDHN's Aaron Dixon live in Ozark at the Dale County Courthouse with all these recent developments. Aaron.
That's right, Mike. Just a couple moments ago, Dale County Sheriff Mason Bynum made us aware that one of the jurors in the Coley McCraney case has been arrested and disqualified from serving on the jury after failing to appear this morning. But then as authorities began to look into the case, it appeared that he had a warrant out for his arrest out of Dothan for a traffic violation. And this, of course, delayed proceedings today. But now we're starting to hear from some of the last people who saw or heard from Tracy Hollett and J.B. Beasley that in 1999. Coley McCraney is charged with 5 counts of capital murder for the murders of Hollett and Beasley. Family members say that Hollett and Beasley had become friends in the summer of 1999 and that they were going to a party in Headland after Hollett got off of work. But on the way to the party, they got lost in Ozark and asked 2 ladies for directions to head back to Dothan because it was already 11:35 and Hollett was 5 minutes past her curfew. So Hollett called home asking for a curfew extension, but was told no and to come home. The state says when McCraney then held them at gunpoint and forced them to move to a location on Herring Avenue and raped Beasley, then forced both women to get into the trunk of Beasley's car and shot each of them 1 time. The defense say that McCraney was just helping them because they were lost, and after they talked, Beasley and McCraney had sex. But then McCraney attempted to go home, but his car broke down. So he walked home, then got his girlfriend to pick him up, and they drove to his car where they jumped it off. Now, tomorrow in this case, Mike, we are expected to hear from some of the investigators who first discovered the scene of the crime. But of course, we'll keep you updated on online and on air. Back to you.
Aaron, with the 1 juror arrested, what impact could this have on the jury pool today?
Well, it definitely had an impact, Mike, because we started walking into this morning thinking, okay, we have 14 jurors, and now we're stuck with 13, and so now we're having 12 jurors and only 1 alternate. So if another juror called out sick or 2 called out sick, who knows what could happen, and that could really cause a problem to this trial that's already expected to last 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, some strange developments. Thanks, Aaron. Well, we want to get some perspective on today's courtroom developments. Joining us now live is Russ Goodman, the district attorney for Houston and Henry counties. Russ, if we have 1 juror arrested, even if they iron out all the details, what impact could this have on the trial? And could it just possibly lay some kind of maybe future groundwork for a mistrial? Prosecutors are saying let the DNA do the talking. But do you think prosecutors can get a conviction based on that DNA alone? After all, the defense is saying McCraney is intimate with J.B. Beasley before the murder, which could explain the DNA.
Well, to answer your first question, I mean, with the juror being excused, arrested, that's why you have alternates. So that shouldn't be a problem. You know, I'm not sure exactly how long the trial is expected to last, 2 or 3 weeks maybe. But as long as they don't have any more issues, I think as far as the jury goes, they'll be fine. But you know, with DNA evidence, again, I'm not greatly familiar with this case, but it's going to be a tough row to hoe if that's all they've got. Now, we'll see in the next 2 or 3 weeks exactly what the prosecution has. I mean, we just heard opening statements today, and they kind of lay the groundwork, but we'll see.
And Russ, how much doubt do you think McCraney's team will need to prove in order to sway the jury to their side based on the evidence at hand and today's developments?
Well, you know, for the defense, all they need is 1 juror. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, again, we'll see how it plays out. You know, opening statements give us kind of a roadmap of what to expect. It sort of sets the table, but in any trial, you know, things come up. So, you know, we'll see. But you know, for the defense, all they've got to do is sway 1 juror and they can get it hung up, and that's all it takes.
All right, Russ, thanks so much for this insight. And I don't know if we'll have these turns and twists throughout the trial, right? I mean, you've prosecuted a number of cases. What is your assessment so far?
Well, you know, it's a strange start. You had a juror that didn't show up this morning. My understanding was he showed up to work, so that would give me a little bit of concern if I was the state, a juror that had been instructed to show up at the courthouse the next day and they didn't. And now you've got a juror that has been released. So it's a heck of a start. So hang on, we'll see.
Yeah, that's right. Buckle up your seatbelts, folks.
That's right.
All right. Thanks so much, Russ Goodman, District Attorney for Houston and Henry counties.
Thank you.
And keep it on WDHN for continuing coverage of the McCraney Murder Trial. We'll have gavel-to-gavel coverage. You can also click on McCraney Murder Trial on our website, WDHN.com. It will take you to all the latest stories on this case.